Class 12th Microeconomics Chapter 2 National Income Accounting. In this chapter, we will introduce the fundamental functioning of the simple economy in section 2.1, and we describe some primary ideas we shall work with. In section 2.2, we describe how can we view the aggregate economy of the entire economy going through the sectors of economy in a circular way. The same section also deals with the three ways to calculate the national income, namely product method, expenditure method, and income method. Uh, the last section 2.3 describes the various subcategories of national income. It also defines different prices indices like GDP and deflator, consumer price index, wholesale price indices, and discuss the problems associated with taking GDP of a country as an indicator of the aggregate welfare of the people of the country. Topic number 2.1, some basic concept of macroeconomics. One of the pioneers of the subject we call economics today, Adam Smith named his the most influential work, an inquiry into nature and cause of the wealth of the nation. What generate the economic wealth of the nation of a nation? What makes countries rich or poor? These are the some of the central question of economics. It is not that country which are endowed with a bounty of national wealth, minerals or forest or the most fertile land are naturally the richest country. In fact, the resources rich countries like Africa, Latin America have some of the poorest country in the world, whereas the many prosperous countries have scarcity and a natural wealth. There was time when possession of national wealth was the most important consideration, but even then, the resources had been transferred through a production process. The economic wealth or well-being of a country thus not necessarily depend on mere possession of resources. The point is how these resources are used in generating a flow of production and how, as the consequences, income and wealth are generated from that process. Let us now dwell upon this flow of production. How does this flow of production arise? People combine their energies with the natural and man-made environment within the certain social and technological structure to generate a flow of production. In our modern economic setting, this flow of production arises out of the production of commodities, goods and services by millions of enterprises, large and small. These enterprises range from giant corporation employ a large number of people to single entrepreneur enterprises. But what happened to these commodities after being produced? Each producer of commodity intends to sell output. So from the smallest item like pins or buttons to the largest one, aeroplanes, automobiles, giant machinery, or any saleable services, that of the doctor and the lawyer or the financial consultant. And the goods and services are produced to be sold to the consumer. The consumer may in turn be an individual or an enterprise, and the goods or services purchased by an entity might be for final use or to use in further production. When it is used in a further production, it lose its it loses characteristic as the specific good and and is the transfer through the productive productive process into another good. Thus, a farmer producing cotton sells it to a spinning mill where the raw cotton undergoes transformation to yarn. The yarn is in turn sold to a textile mill where through the productive process it is transformed into cloth. The cloth is in turn transformed through another productive process into an article of clothing which in then ready to be sold finally to the consumers for final use. Such an item that is meant for the final use and will not pass through any more stages of production or transformed is called the final good. By we call this final good because once it has been sold, it passes out of active economic flow. It will not undergo any further transformation at the hand of the any producer. It may, however, undergo transformation by the action of the ultimate purchasers. In fact, many such final goods are transformed during their consumption. Thus, the tea leaves purchased by the consumer are not consumed in that form. They are not used drinkable tea, which is consumed which is consumed. Similarly, most of the items that enter our kitchen are transformed through the process of cooking. By cooking at home is the economic activity where even though the production involved undergoes transformation. Home cooked food is not sold to the market. However, if the same cooking or tea brewing was done in a restaurant where the cooked product would be sold to customers, then same items such as tea leaves would cease to be final good and would be counted as input to which economic value addition can take place. And thus, it is not in the nature of the good, but in the economic nature of it use that the good become a final good. Of the final good, we can distinguish between consumption good and the capital good. Good like food and clothing and services like recreation that are consumed when purchased by their ultimate consumers are called consumption good or consumer good. These is also include services which are mm, which are consumed but for the convenience we may refer to them as consumer good. Then there are other good that are of durable characters which are used in the which are used which are consumed for convenience. We may refer to them as consumer goods. Then there are other goods that are durable characteristic which are used in the production process. These are tools, implementation, and machines. While they make production of other commodities feasible, they themselves didn't transform in the product process. They are also final product, yet they are not the final product to be ul- ultimately consumed. Unlike the final good that we are considered above, they are the crucial backbone of any production process. In adding and enabling the production to take place, these were goods from a part of the capital, one of the crucial factors of the production in which a productive enterprises have have invested, and they continue to enable the production process to go on for continuous cycle of production. These are the capital goods, and they gradually undergo wear and tears, and thus are repaired or gradually replaced over time. The stock of the capital that economy possesses in thus preserved, maintained, renewed, particularly or whole over time. And this is of some importance in the discussion that we will follow. And our part 1 is now completed of chapter 2, class 12th.